Happy afternoon. Here we are.
Hi, everybody. I'm
There's
here
Walt.
too. Yes.
And Sheila. And we are here for Healthy Recipes Served Up on Livliga. And it is the last week of July. Can you believe that?
No, I can't.
Oh my gosh, this means you know what's next.
August. But what is August?
August is my birthday month.
So
there's nothing more important than that as far as anybody in this family is concerned.
We won't say that her birthday is actually the 31st of August,
I know,
but
hold
on August 1, it's like, oh, it's your birthday month.
Exactly.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that. Is it Saturday already? Yeah, the first is Saturday.
Yeah, maybe.
Whoa. So
coming up.
Saturday is also fun for us because we're launching a new bundle.
Yes.
So you guys will have to stay tuned because we're launching a healthy cooking bundle.
Yeah.
So if you want a healthy grilling bundle, now's the time because it will be put to rest here and we'll launch a new bundle. So that's kind of a big front-end scoop for you guys today in terms of things going on with Livliga and fun offerings. So today, because we are in the middle of summer, it is what I call the sultry summer days. It's pretty hot out there.
So what we're really saying is you need to go find a shady tree someplace.
Yes.
And take your picnic basket.
Yes.
And we're going to tell you what to put in your picnic. Take your picnic blanket, I was trying to say.
Oh, blanket too, yes.
And then we'll tell you what to put in your basket for a really fun picnic.
Our whole thing is, we're all kind of having to be thoughtful about where we are and what we're doing and how we're doing it. And we can use our backyard just to have some fun, do something different. We can have a picnic for dinner time, which is what we're going to do tonight. You can have a picnic for lunch. You can even have a breakfast picnic and just beat the crowd, as it were. So you can make it your own. You can do it in your backyard, or you can pack it all up and go someplace that works well for the physical distancing that you're practicing, wherever you happen to be. There's plenty of choices out there, there really are. Could be a rooftop for that matter if you're in an apartment building. Something fun and different.
Hopefully with a tree. But
yeah, right. Or you can make your own tree, make it a kid project.
That's
you can create a tree and sit under it. So
I like it.
The idea is to have some fun, give yourself a break. Picnics are generally, should be easier. So that was kind of it. We wanted to sort of talk about, how to make a fun picnic. And as Walter said, you start with, having someplace to sit that's fun, under a tree with a blanket. We have picnic blankets that we use. And you can, if you're in your own backyard, you can bring some big old pillows out and get it all set up. So part of the fun is just setting it up, setting the scene for the picnic. Right. And for me, in terms of the food, I like things I can do ahead of time.
Right. They don't really have to be hot.
No. In fact, who wants to eat hot stuff in the summertime, right?
Exactly.
Really good point.
Right.
Really good point. So I think, things that can be at room temperature or cold are important. I also like to make sure that I'm aware of when I put the ingredients together that there's something that can kind of last outside for a while. So I'm not heavy on mayonnaise or heavy on things that have cream or milk or butter things because they don't last very well outside. Doesn't mean you can't have some of that in there, but you also need to think about keeping it cool. So there are easy ways of doing that. Number one, just putting them in containers that can go in a thermos and stay cool until you're actually going to eat them. But like we'll do a potato salad today that has a very tiny amount of mayonnaise in it. It's like 2 tablespoons for a big old batch of potato salad, but it mainly has vinegar, so the vinegar kind of keeps it for a while. So I think that's another thing to think about. Things you can make ahead of time, things that won't spoil easily and that hold up well. Those are kind of 2 different things. You don't want it to spoil, and you also want it to hold up well for a period of time. So not only is it safe to eat, but it's also enjoyable to eat because it looks nice.
And be transportable.
Yes, very important.
Although there's almost anything you can transport, you just may have to sort of be creative about how you're going to do it.
Yeah, I think another thing that's important, I'm big on finger food. So not only do you want it portable, but of course you can take cutlery, and of course you can do that, and take something to put it in once it's dirty, so that you're not messing up your whole basket or your thermos or whatever afterwards. But I think it's kind of fun to do finger food on a picnic.
Right.
And so today, one of the things, as we go through our menu, the meat is actually something you can pick up with your hand, and it's something that's very kid-friendly. And so that's another thing to think about is, how the different components of your meal can be easily eaten. So, meats tend to be something you have to kind of carve out with a knife or whatever. So thinking about alternatives to that are easier to eat.
But really what you've done today, everything is finger food except the salad. So a fork.
Right. A fork or even a spoon, So, and of course, if you're using your backyard, it's easy. If you forget something, you can come back inside and get it. If you decide you need to have a fork and knife, you can come get it. So, but the idea is to think ahead, just to make it more fun, to make it easier. And of course, appetizers you want to make it easy, and finger food, and the desserts as well. So, what do I think about a menu? What do you think about a menu for a picnic?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I think you have to have an appetizer.
Well,
you have to have something. You have to have a fun drink and an appetizer, so you can sit and gab with each other, look up at the stars, or the setting sun, or the rising sun, depending on what time of day. So you can kind of ease into your meal. And then you want kind of the traditional components of a meal. So you want your protein. You want, some salads. Typically, I think a couple of different salads. So people have different things to choose from.
Right.
That also can be your starch and your vegetable.
Exactly.
And so that's a fun way of accomplishing a picnic, is with the salads. And these are things where, again, you've prepared it ahead of time. They're ready to serve up easily. And then I think having a dessert is really fun.
Key. Right.
And often we'll have just fresh fruit, because in the summertime, just having whole foods is yummy because they taste so good. I mean, you can even eat tomatoes like apples this time of year because they're so delicious. And I will tell you, as a side story, when we first moved to Colorado, we were very spoiled because we grew up in farmland in Missouri, around it. I mean, we didn't really live in it, but we were near it. And, we were spoiled. We had fabulous tomatoes, things that, fresh corn, all those things. And we came to Colorado, and we certainly had all those fresh things, but the soil is very different.
And just the amount of time. I mean, to me it was
good point.
when you could plant a tomato and how hot they got really meant that we thought you couldn't really get a good, ripe,
it didn't taste good.
tomato.
It didn't. When we first explored tomatoes, the taste was so very different. And now we've figured out how to enhance the soil, and how to pick the right type of tomato so it ripens within the right time frame for Colorado. And oh my God, they're so good. They're sweet and delicious, and they are like apples to eat. So, so a lesson learned. The way you do things in one state may not be the right way to do it in another state, and that's what we've learned. So, hi everybody, we're so glad you're joining us. We appreciate your being with us as we talk about a perfect summer picnic.
Yes.
Today. And this actually is going to be our picnic today. We were worried the clouds came coming in, and so we're inside showing you the kind of the spread of the picnic, but I'm going to convince Walt and Cynthia to go out with me and have a real life picnic for dinner.
And I will say, many years ago, when Sheila and I were dating, and maybe like age 13 or 14.
Oh my God, we go back that long ago.
We had a great picnic planned on a Saturday in Kansas City.
Yes, we did.
But it turned out to rain.
Yes.
So what did we do?
We had it inside on the floor.
We just set up the whole thing on the floor and we had a great picnic.
It was super fun. Yeah. We've done that actually more than once.
It's true. But
you don't ever have to give up your picnic, you guys. You
right.
You just where you set it up may be slightly differently than you originally planned.
Yes.
So, I think making it easy, which includes things like having it finger food, coming up with things that you can do ahead of time is really important. And not making it complicated, right?
Right. One thing you mentioned, though, that you didn't really talk about was in terms of thinking about cleanup afterwards.
Oh, very important.
So, you know, if you are going to have silverware, if you are going to have a fork, rather than putting dirty things back in the basket, just to bring Ziplocs is so easy. Or even a kitchen towel or a towel that you can wrap things up in, but just some simple way so that you control the mess, and you'll be much happier the next time you have a picnic.
You will, believe me, you will. So we thought, okay, let's talk about our specific menu.
Okay.
And these are all links that we're going to provide. Mariah's going to help get us sharing these up on the train in this particular video so you all can see. I also have a link to an article that has even different things that at one point I did for a picnic, for the perfect summer picnic. So the point is it's very flexible, but you'll see a theme through all of it, which is, you know, the fact that they're easy to do, things you can do ahead of time. And I even, like with the desserts, I tend to do batches and then I save some of it in a freezer. So whatever you happen to have in the freezer, which is what I did today, we're going to have rosemary dark chocolate chip cookies and the hiking cookies that I did as a blog. Recently we featured it as a Monday motivational meal, and so I had some of those because I had to update the photos, and they're really good. And they all, you know, as a hiking cookie, it means it's very portable. It's one of those things that does well if you're...
It's durable.
It's durable.
Yes.
But tasty durable.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with, and if you want to help with this, it would be great. We're going to do deviled eggs. And deviled eggs, even though they kind of cheat because they do have some mayonnaise in them, they're one of those things that you can keep cool and keep unassembled until you're ready to serve them up. And so they're very fresh. And you don't make more than you know people are going to eat. That's the other trick with a picnic is don't take, particularly for the appetizer, take it so that people can finger food it, and then we don't have to worry about it sitting out there and getting tired. So as you can see here, we've got a container of the halves of the egg whites.
And then you made the filling already.
And then I made the filling already. And then I take little spoons because I think it's easier to fill. So Walt's just going to put a few in here, however many fit on there. At least 2 per person, please. And the one thing I forgot to get out that I can get out now is a little paprika, because I think having paprika, especially the Hungarian sweet paprika, so it doesn't end up with a kind of a sour or bite taste to it, is really nice to just put a little color on the top once they're filled. And so Walt's going to fill the eggs, and then we'll have them ready to serve up. And so imagine yourself out on that blanket, and you can do that ahead of time. Again, you could take a dip and some raw vegetables. There's so many of those that are delicious right now, the peppers, whatever. We had shared dips recently, and so my wasabi dip is really good. But again, you don't want to take more than you're going to use, because that's something you're going to throw away when you come home. It's not something you'll want to save if it's been out in the sun, in the heat, at your picnic. But those are kind of fun things to have that are healthy, because again, what we're trying to do is talk about having a healthy, happy picnic where the ingredients are fresh, where the choices are such that when you make a meal, you're making it within the constraints of you know, kind of right-sized and healthy and tasty.
Did you say how you made the filling?
So no, I provided a link of something that's similar to what I do. I don't have this written down yet. It'll be a recipe I'm gonna share on my blog, because I realized it's something I've never shared. I'm big on deviled eggs in the summertime, just because the memories for us are so good, and it's really healthy. It's you know, you can put a little more mustard than the mayonnaise in there, but you know, typically I think I did maybe 7 eggs, because there were 7 of them. Typically you do 6. And then you mash up the yolk in there, and you sometimes, I mean, for instance, Shelby Kennard, who formerly the diabetic foodie, you know, she'll add avocado to it. So, you know, when you add other things or chop up finely some celery in it, then you're, you know, what you have is a filling then that has other ingredients, so you're not as dense with the egg yolk. And for some people, for health reasons, that's a good idea. But I just, if I do the fast mode, I mush up the egg, and then I add the mayonnaise, and sometimes, you know, that's homemade mayonnaise, and I love Dijon mustard.
Do you do vinegar or not?
You know, it's pretty typical to do vinegar
Right.
in it, yes. And I think the recipe that I shared has vinegar in it. And then salt and pepper, and it's really as simple as that. They're very easy to make. That's one of the reasons why I like them for a picnic. So Walt's done a beautiful job of filling them. And don't use too much, because you've got the other ones that fill up later, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so that's hors d'oeuvres.
Now wait, talk to me about how am I going to do the paprika? Just carefully?
So,
or?
yeah, I just do it like that. It's as simple as that. It's just a little dusting.
Okay, I could have done that.
Yeah, Cynthia loves it because, again, it's all about memories and happy memories of summertime and picnics and eating with friends and family, and it just looks really pretty. I also do capers on top of these, and often I'll alternate them to kind of create a design, so when I'm serving it up, it looks really pretty.
And we love capers, so.
We do, we love capers.
Oh, that looks great.
Doesn't that look pretty?
Good job.
So we have that, and then as a drink, are you going to show that?
Well, yeah, and hopefully I'm not going to drop it.
So we're big into non-alcoholic drinks these days. Well, actually Cynthia does drink, but the two of us don't anymore. We love celebratory libations, but we're not big into the alcohol. So I made a fresh watermelon lemonade, and the watermelon lemonade is literally done with fresh watermelon. This time of year, it's so plentiful. I got a seedless watermelon because that's really easy to make this with, and fresh lemons. So I actually made fresh lemonade. You could get store-bought lemonade and add the watermelon to it. So again, we also have Walt does an Arnold Palmer and gets the low-cal lemonade that's available. I think it's a Minute Maid lemonade. So you could just use that with the watermelon. I love the fresh taste of the lemon with the watermelon.
And you really do lemon juice, and just it's probably a more, not as sweet a lemonade as you might do because of the watermelon? Or,
yes, exactly. The watermelon's so sweet anyway. So you do 2 cups of that to 1 cup of the lemon juice, and then add like 3 cups of water. So you do want to, I dilute it so it's not so dense and strong. And then add about 2 teaspoons, and it could be to taste, of honey to it, just to sweeten it up a little bit. But it isn't a sweet lemonade, at least my version isn't. We put some ice in it, and then we have fresh mint from the garden that added to the lemonade actually creates this wonderful taste. Oh,
smell it.
I love it.
Yeah.
And this is actually mint that we brought from Missouri when we moved here.
It's our favorite mint.
It's our favorite mint, so it's kind of fun. It comes back every year. Wherever we are, we move it with us because there's plenty. So we bring it with us. So okay, we've got the deviled eggs, we've got the watermelon lemonade, and all these are links that are available with this video. And then the 2 salads, you know, I try and, again, think of one that's more the carb one and one that's more veggie or fruit related. So today we're actually doing this really fabulous, I found this potato salad that, believe it or not, has bacon in it. It's cooking light and has bacon in it. It has grilled onions in it and roasted potatoes.
It's really good.
And a mustard dressing. It's really fabulous with some fresh herbs in it. So it's wonderful summertime, and it holds up really well. And so that's our roasted potato with mustard dressing. And then we're gonna do a roasted corn with fresh tomatoes. And these literally are tomatoes out of our garden. They're cherry tomatoes out of our garden. And the corn can be fresh corn too, because if you're inundated in your, where you live with fresh corn, it's fun to grill that. You can grill it in a cast iron skillet or out on the grill. Or you know, you can boil it, take it off, and then grill it. I am cheating today just because, again, I like to show all the different alternatives. This is 2 cups of what was frozen corn, and now we're going to grill it in a cast iron. And so I'm actually going to put together this salad, which is the grilled corn with the tomato and basil. You can often, what I'm sharing is somebody else's recipe that includes feta with it. I'm not going to put feta in my salad today just because we have so many delicious things.
But it's really good with the feta.
Oh, it's so good. If you
But
have
it's also-
that and a meat for
Yeah.
dinner, you know, it's fabulous. But I just want to point out that
You
I
don't
know
have to,
that
right.
you don't have to. Again, it's so wonderful. We have fresh basil from the garden, fresh tomatoes from the garden, and you start with.
Here, I'm going to open this.
Okay, good. Yes, and so we're going to start with garlic being sautéed in some oil. So I'm gonna switch sides with you if you don't mind.
No problem. And
so
if anyone
I
hears some funny noises in the background, last month when we did this, we said we were about to head off to pick
Yes,
up
we
a
did.
brand new puppy, and that this month, if you heard a puppy in the background, you probably would definitely hear a puppy. Well, actually, Cynthia is taking care of the pup today for us, but every once in a while I hear little squeaks and
Yes.
chirps and.
So we may, at the end, we may go get her so that you
Yes.
can meet her. Her
Cassie.
name is Cassie, and we actually, her mom was Stella, so we named her Cassiopeia. And why did we name her Cassiopeia?
Because Cassiopeia is one of my favorite constellations in the summer sky.
Yes.
Yes.
So when we go up to the mountains and we look in the sky, Cassiopeia is one of the constellations we see.
Which is also known as the Flying W. And since I'm Walt,
Yes.
I've always particularly loved Cassiopeia.
Now we really
Oh,
get it.
I didn't tell you
There's
that.
Special,
Yes.
special meaning. Oh, I
Yes.
know that. So we're heating up 2 teaspoons of olive oil.
Perfect.
And then we're gonna put some garlic, and this is a couple of cloves of garlic, you know, a teaspoon or more. We're garlic lovers, as you know, if you watched us before. And actually, I have a wooden spoon right there, if you wouldn't mind just handing it to me. And so we're gonna.
And my theory
Saute
on
that.
garlic is if it calls for 2 cloves, you put in 6.
I stop him sometimes, you guys. I do.
But it's true.
Yes. And then we're just getting that heated up, and I see that for our fresh peaches, we forgot to throw that away. So we're gonna get the corn grilled in this cast iron skillet.
You ready?
So we're gonna get this. I'm just gonna let this sizzle for a second. Yep, it looks like it's sizzling. Really, part of the test is if you can start smelling. One of my favorite smells is the smell of garlic roasting in olive oil.
Or butter, either one.
Or butter, yeah, well, that's true. That's true. We do more olive oil
We
now
do,
than
we
we do
do.
butter. And so really by roasting the corn, I can't tell you, it brings out the sweetness of the corn, and the taste of the charring just adds a dimension to the
Maybe
salad that I
caramelizes a
love.
little bit, but it's so good.
Yeah,
It really
it does.
is.
So we've got it going here, so we're now gonna put the corn in. That's 2 cups of corn.
So really
You
easily
hear
done.
it sizzling away here. I've got it on medium-high heat.
Where'd you put the onions in?
That's, none of the rest of this is gonna get cooked.
Okay.
So I only cook the corn. There's some recipes that just kind of depends, but I feel like the warmth from the corn does bring out warmth in the other vegetables, so, you know, the taste is wonderful. But they're so fresh and good the way they are. So I've had a cup of the cherry tomatoes that we had in our garden. I went out literally and picked them.
So
and
fresh from
they're
the
ready to
vine.
go.
Yum. And they are actually halves. They all look
Yeah.
like they're whole, but
Yeah. And then he may be heavy-handed on the garlic. I tend to be heavy-handed on herbs that are fresh. So, you know, a quarter cup, it's a generous quarter cup of basil that I've done in strips. And I've done some green onions. So the green onion is like 3 tablespoons. I think that's what the recipe calls for. And then a little salt and pepper, and we're gonna do a little sherry vinegar. And it's kind of fun. To me, like olive oils, the vinegars are fun to play with. You know, champagne vinegar or sherry vinegar.
or a rice wine, which is so
Yeah,
good.
I do that a lot for cucumbers and tomato salads that we do with a little of the sesame oil. So you can play around with these in the summer so that you vary things. I'm one of those where my taste buds like variety, and so I like experimenting with different ways to kind of do different salads with fresh vegetables in the summertime. So we're just already, it's as what was saying, kind of caramelizing or browning. So we're just trying to get a good brown on our corn so that it's not charred, but it is brown. But you're laughing.
Well, it was a good Midwestern. Get a good brown.
Get a good brown on it. So this is our second salad. So we have a potato salad, and we have this corn and tomato and basil salad. With that, then, like, what the heck's the meat? So Walt's going to show you. And one of the things that we had a whole healthy recipe served up on Livliga talking about marinades, because marinades, like rubs, are this wonderful magical thing that can flavor meats. And so you can eat chicken every day of the week, but if you do different marinades and different rubs and different seasonings, it's amazing how they can completely taste different. And so this is what I call my summer marinade that's with fresh lemon juice.
But I've actually started with, you mentioned the potato salad
Yeah.
first.
Oh, can we just do the chicken right now?
Sure.
We'll show that too.
Okay.
But so it marinated overnight, and I put the pulp. This is something different than most people do, but I actually cut the lemon and pull off the pulp and put it in my marinade. So it's soy sauce and it's the pulp and the juice from
Look
the
at that.
lemon.
Oh.
Oh, look at that chicken.
No, like
And
beautiful.
it has some ginger in it, and it just makes the best flavoring, and it also grills really well. Some marinades kind of end up causing, like there's an Asian style marinade we did last month, and it kind of really burns the chicken in order to get it done, just because of the ingredients that are in oils tend to cause more burning, so that
Flair,
when you have a marinade. But this one just Walt did a beautiful job of it. And I also, you'll notice that they were chicken legs.
Yes.
Why did I pick chicken legs?
Because they're so easy to eat with your
They
hands.
are.
And who doesn't like a good drumstick?
Right. And so they go well. So with the wonderful potato salad and the drumstick that's been, has my summer lemony marinade on it, and then this corn, tomato, and basil salad. I mean, you really have this wonderful meal that you're sitting around outside, listening to the birds and having a breeze, hopefully, and watching butterflies go by, and puppy dogs pouncing on things, hoping to catch them.
And the corn salad with the basil and the tomato, and when you put in the feta also, it really is almost a play on a, what am I trying to say? I just blanked out.
Oh, like a big salad?
A caprese salad.
Oh, caprese. Yeah, exactly.
So, because it really is all those wonderful flavors plus fresh corn.
Right. So I think this is brown
It looks
enough. I mean, you can always brown it more, but
I'm going to get you a hot pan.
yeah, we need a hot pan. So we browned it, and we're just going to put it right in the bowl. Happens to be in a Vex serving bowl, if you noticed.
Of course.
And I will say, they do make for pretty picnics. So we're just going to put it on there. Doesn't that look good? And by having it warm when you add the other vegetables, it does kind of waken up the other vegetables and bring the sweetness to the foreground. So again, that was 2 cups. Whew, that was hot. And now we're going to put the cup of our tomatoes in, and the 3 tablespoons of the green onions, and then some wonderful basil out of our garden. That's about a 1/4 cup, I'd say. And then I think I do a tablespoon of the sherry. Oops, somehow we lost our tablespoon in the midst of all this. And we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And I always go light on that because Cynthia doesn't like pepper very much. And we do. So it's that struggle in families. And then this is just a 1/4 teaspoon of the salt. And again, you guys, I love kosher salt. I feel it really enhances the flavor of food more. The molecules actually are different. So we're going to put the tablespoon of this is sherry vinegar. And I'm going to put it right in here. and stir it up, and we will have our salad ready to go.
All right.
So, and it looks so pretty. You know, it's got all the colors, the summer to me in it, right? You've got the corn with the yellow and the red of the tomatoes and the green of the green onion and the basil. It's just so pretty. So, well, you really do have to show everybody this.
Yeah.
And it's ready. We have a half cup live spoon for both the
smells
salads.
so good.
It makes it so easy to serve up.
So there's the corn and tomato and basil salad. Doesn't that look good?
And then you all have been waiting, I know, for us to discuss a very important thing, which is dessert, right? So we're having cherries because cherries are very much in season right now. And in fact, the Rainier cherries or the Washington sweet cherries that are the kind of red and yellow are so good. We happen to have Bing today because I think that's what was available at the grocery store. And they're so pretty.
So fresh Bing cherries. Oh, doesn't look great.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
And then we have cookies. And so we, as I mentioned before, we're going to do the hiking cookies with the rosemary dark chocolate chip cookies. Another thing I mentioned is the Hello Dollies. So Hello Dollies are a tradition in our family, and we always have them on the 4th of July. They're loaded. These are the rosemary dark chocolate chip cookies and the hiking cookies. And the hiking cookies have cranberries in them and mini chocolate chips and oatmeal.
So they're the ones in the middle.
Right, they're an oatmeal cookie. Yeah. And the other one is sort of a classic chocolate chip cookie, but it's our healthy version, which has fresh rosemary in it. And has also white whole wheat flour in it. So they're a different version, but really delicious. Everybody loves them. And so I tend to have them ready in the freezer. And so it made it easy to pop them out. But going back to Hello Dollies. Hello Dollies are loaded with calories. You know, they're one of those things that have coconut and chocolate chips and Eagle brand condensed milk.
Oh, right, that's a biggie.
So I worked hard to make a healthier version, which is still very tasty. And so I do have that available, which does make, if you're doing a special picnic and you're looking forward to being with folks or
it's one of those things we do
moment.
Once a year, maybe twice a year.
Yeah, exactly. So, so that I do recommend. It's a fun, and it's, you know, it's a bar. So again, it's very easy to make, you know, in a pan, and then easy to serve up as, you know, finger dessert. So,
right.
So are we ready to set? So
Yes.
the other thing is kind of creating the ambiance. So we thought we'd set up our picnic table so you could see the spread and see what we do. And so Walt's going to help create that right
So we have
now.
a great picnic blanket that actually has a solid backing, so it works really well. And
So we got the chicken coming up. Woo-wee. And the deviled eggs. I mean, is this starting to look like a picnic or what? And you guys have to tell us what your favorite items are for a picnic that you enjoy as part of what you do as a picnic. So pretty napkins. We're all for pretty napkins for.
and just real napkins, just make it seem more festive and more fun.
It does.
And what else do we do, Sheila?
So we tend to use real glasses. So I know that may not be an easy thing for other people to do, but we wrap them up in napkins. And here they are, you know, of course, Livliga. So they make for very pretty drinks, and we put the watermelon lemonade in it, and which we're going to do, and then have the beautiful mint in it. It's gonna look beautiful. So this is what the watermelon lemonade, and I do have a long spoon because the fresh watermelon, although I sieved it, Cynthia actually helped me with this. So you chunk it up, put it in like a blender to make it juice, and then you sieve it if you really want it to be refined. You don't have to. So if you're doing the quick version, I have certainly done it that way. It's a little heartier. This has been sieved, so you can see. I mean, is this not the most beautiful color?
It really is.
And it's because of the watermelon. So I stirred it up just to make sure everything was blended together. And I already have ice in with the lemonade. So.
Oh, that looks so good. You're
And
gonna
then
have to pour 2 of those.
I am. And then can you put a pretty
Yeah.
mint so we create the feel, the look, the actual. So, but you know, you think of pink lemonade and you think of sweet things like, you know, the syrup from Cherries or whatever. Don't have to do that. You can do fresh fruit that makes the most beautiful.
Cheers.
So cheers
Chin
to
chin.
picnics and then when you have the mint, you're sipping the mint with the.
Oh, that's so good.
Mm.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Mm. So we have our blanket,
Yes.
our napkins, we have our wonderful plates, and we have our glassware.
Now, would you
And
really
we have-
take this, the dishes on a picnic?
We would. We're like that.
And one of the tricks also is, you know, you could put napkins between them in the basket, or you could just do them all, and just really, as long as the edges aren't banging against something, it's not a problem.
Right.
It's
And
durable,
I mean, if
it's
you're
fine.
doing a hike, probably pretty inconvenient. But if you're
In the back of the car, and
Yeah.
you're just taking out a picnic basket.
certainly for a tailgate, it's pretty gosh darn easy. And these days, we're not having big, huge crowds and huge numbers of people that we have to feed. So we don't have to, you know, you're not suddenly dealing with a lot of cutlery, a lot of glassware. So, you know, we sort of feel that in this day and age, better to treat yourself and create a beautiful spread and make it look beautiful. And particularly when we're talking about healthy and right size, it's nice to use the tools for that to create the environment that then supports us in just a beautiful spread of food
Right.
that we can enjoy and eat healthfully.
And tasty.
And tasty. So,
So,
you're going to serve up
yeah.
here, you know?
So I'm going to start. I'm going to put
I'm
one
so
egg,
jealous. Look at that. Oh, my mouth is
and
watering.
Maybe just a couple
Yes.
cherries.
yeah. They're so pretty. I mean, all the
Mhm.
colors, you know, they
And
just
I'm going
look
to
so
do
pretty.
one chicken leg.
There we go.
And
He's
then
putting it, you notice he's putting them in the right spots on the plate.
I
So
wonder,
good job, Walt.
I
Good
wonder
job.
why I'm doing that.
So, and I gotta tell you this, I really recommend this potato salad. It just has all the right flavors in it, and it's just so tasty. And then our delicious.
When I show this, you need to get the forks out because I
Oh,
didn't think
yes.
about the
Okay.
forks.
I can happily get a
I
fork
think
out.
that really does everything other
Except
than.
for the cookie.
Yeah, well, we'll
Yes,
come back to
We'll
this.
come back for the yes.
So look at that wonderful plate. Doesn't that look like fun?
And as you can see, the salad that I did, which was one of the salads, these are not difficult to do at
No.
all, and they're not.
And it's so
horribly
tasty again.
time-consuming.
Just
I
like-
obviously chopped everything up ahead of time, but particularly the corn and tomato salad is pretty easy to make. The potato salad has, you cook a little more of it, but it's not hard. And it's something, again, you can do a day ahead, which is what I did, so that these things would be ready. I layered getting these things done. Okay, here's your fork, sir.
Actually, we may actually each have.
Oh, okay.
Well, we each share one.
Can we share?
Sure.
All right, here we go. I don't want to share.
Or not. Oh, come on.
I'm
Is it
willing to
good?
share, but I don't want to share.
Mm. Mhm.
I'm someone who loves the mustard flavor, so my deviled eggs tend to have a little more mustard than
That's
mayonnaise
really
in
good.
them.
Oh,
So-
you got pick
Yeah.
up
Oh, am I going to try the chicken?
your. Yeah.
All right, and he wants me to because, of course, he's the one that grilled this perfection. Mm. Oh my goodness. Mm.
Oh, good.
Mm. Mm. Am I allowed to use one of these napkins?
Sure.
So I always like eating in front of you.
Mhm.
Some people might think that's rude, but
Mm.
I think, you know, the proof is in the pudding.
Oh, it's
And
so good.
I think it was really awful and we had funny expressions on our
Yeah.
face. We'd be in trouble, right?
No,
But
it's wonderful.
no, this
Okay.
really is a fun picnic spread, and there are other ideas that we want to share with you that Mariah's put up, and we do hope that you get outside, enjoy this beautiful weather, even if it's hot. It's kind of part of the experience, right? This time of year, and you know, most of us pretty soon will start complaining about the fact that it's too cold. So
Not for a
now's
while
the
yet.
time to get out and to breathe that fresh air. And any of you that were able to attend the Obesity Action Coalition's Your Weight Matters virtual conference this year, of course, many things have had to adapt, and that was one of them. They did a beautiful job There were some fantastic presenters, and one of the things they talked about was taking care of ourselves and doing simple things and getting outside and having a picnic. Just moving outside literally is part of it, right? It's, you know, it's mentally good for us, physically good for us, and something that we can do together to do something a little different than just the same old inside.
One of your great expressions is always clearing out the cosmopolitan cobwebs.
Yes, that's it.
And really, a picnic does that. I mean, just being outside and having
it just makes you breathe deeper, you know, just thinking
A
about it's
forest
making
shower.
me breathe deeper. So we hope you all will enjoy your picnics and share your photos of your times outside, enjoying, you know, whether it's even by yourself, you can have a lovely moment, take a good book, even if it's on your phone. I'm reading a really good book right at the moment.
Me too.
And I can just see lounging outside and reading a book, sipping my watermelon lemonade. So enjoy, and we'll see you next month. I want to make sure to let you all know that we're going to be doing a vegetarian burger. It's something I've been working on, so it's a new recipe so that you can make your own homemade burgers. As we've all been more at home and working on things, I feel that kind of one of the hardest things is a good veggie burger. Not only the taste, but getting it so that it cooperates and stays together. Haven't quite perfected that yet. But
We're working on it.
So we're going to do that on August 25th, 5:30. It's a Tuesday, and we hope to see you there as well. And meanwhile, thank you for joining us. Our healthy recipes served up on Livliga, and you see how we can create quite a lovely spread in the middle of summer, even when it's sultry outside.
Yes.
So cheers to all of you. It's good to see you.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Happy picnics.
And we'll see you next month.